Baseball swing trainer. Big potential in using a SwingAway. The definitive guide to conducting swing experiments. Hey, what's going on? It's Joey Myers from the Hitting Performance Lab. Mark Twain once said that if you find yourself on the same side as a majority, that it's time to pause and reflect. In this baseball swing trainer post where I talk about how to use a SwingAway to conduct your own swing experiments, I wanted to lay the landscape and empower you to help me take up arms. I want to turn conventional hitting wisdom on its stubborn little head and use modern technology to build a swing that we can all be proud of. But first, a little story. The first time that I created a swing experiment was in the 6th grade with a buddy for school. We wanted to see whether a wood bat or an aluminum bat hit the ball farthest. So one day after school, we took our 2 aluminum bats. One was 32-24, the other was 31 inches and 23 ounces, and a Ken Griffey Jr. signature model wood bat that I don't remember what the size was. I think it was 31, 32 inches. We took turns pitching to each other, and then we measured off the distances with our feet. Well, guess how the experiment turned out? What do you think the results were? Did the wood win or did the aluminum win? Well, the wood bat won. And what turned out, truth be known, was that the scientific experiment wasn't too scientific. So there were some things that we could have changed to, the big problem was isolating the variable, which was batted ball distance. So a few of the things we could have done differently was, number one, not pitch to each other. We could have put the ball on a tee, or if we had a SwingAway at that time, I would have used a SwingAway. There's too many variables in pitched balls, location, speeds, not our fault, it's just that's ingrained in human nature. The other thing that we could have done was, instead of measuring the ball distances with our feet, which both of our feet were different sizes, so we didn't figure out which foot was measuring what, but we could have used a rolling tape measure. The other thing was we took too small a data points. So with each bat, I think we took about 50 batted ball distances with each bat, so 150 total data points. Where we should have done was probably do 100 data points per bat per person, and then measured with our little rolling tape measure. But those are some of the things that we could have done a little differently, and we would have had a little bit better outcome, probably more sighting on the aluminum side, which is what we thought was going to happen. And it's probably why we got a C on the test, because we didn't really do our due diligence in isolating the variables. I've wanted to do a how-to experiment post for a long time, but technology hadn't quite caught up, but now it has. So what I want you to do is click the link directly below this video if you're watching this on YouTube under the Show More tab, and you'll get more experiment examples on the full blog post and tips on how to optimize your swing experiments. But for now, let's check out a couple pieces of equipment that will help you to cut down on the amount of time that you put into bean counting and time doing the experiment.
So let's talk about the SwingAway baseball swing trainer. I just started using a SwingAway for my swing experiments. I used to hit off an ATEC Tuffy tee, which looks just like this here, or really any batting tee for that matter, but it was taking me too long. It took me about 2.5 to 3 hours to run my experiments off the tee. Now, fatigue can set in and can skew results depending on how you do with your supplement timing. But some experiments where you're looking at ball flight, such as the bent back knee experiment that I've done before, will most definitely need to be done off the batting tee, because you have to see where the ball's going. You have to see ball flight. Using the SwingAway baseball swing trainer took me 1.5 hours. No need for ball cleanup, ball setup, or waiting more than a few seconds for the ball to return to its stationary position. You can see here, you got the bonet in the background, so that's not it. Right here is the SwingAway. You can see this red frame here, which is very nice, and John Flading at SwingAway has done a great job in innovating and progressing his SwingAway when it comes to durability and all that, and usability. You can see the ball suspended on cables or bungees. There's one coming here, and then there's 2 coming out from the corners over here. And this is like a kind of an old school pitchback net that you can use this also. But what this saves, like I mentioned, ball cleanup, ball setup, and waiting for more than a few seconds for the ball to return to the stationary position, like some of the other ones that look similar to this. Now I want you to watch and see how much time this has saved me. When I talk about that it shaved off about an hour, you'll see why here in these next 3 swings. So I took 3 swings on each, the batting tee and the SwingAway here, and I synced up the swing. So I'm just going to play them in real time. You're going to see the big savings in time with this using the SwingAway. As you can see him falling a little behind on the tee, I'm already on swing number 3 over here on the left. I'm still going swing number 2 on the right. Okay, you can see I got 3 swings done in the time it took to get 2 off the batting tee. So you can see if you're doing a 100 swing experiment each, so you're doing say 100 swings showing the numbers and you got 100 swings not showing the numbers, you can see how the SwingAway is really going to shave off a lot of your time. So now let's take a look at how the Zep Baseball app can save time in bean counting. Now the Zep Baseball app is a great tool for collecting data. I'm going to give you a real-time loop of one of the experiments I did where I was testing the blocking. So you're going to see me pause with the bent knee and then I'm going to go into my turn. But it's a great tool for collecting data. It's not perfect, but all we need is something to compare apples to apples. Unfortunately, the Zep app, it doesn't allow you to separate experiment swings from recreational ones, which I'm sure Zep will come up with here pretty soon. You have to delete all your swings before doing an experiment, unless you want to do the bean counting yourself, which I've done, and it sucks. You also need to create 2 email accounts with Zep to separate the 2 experiment tests. So if you're going to take some recreational swings on the Zep, you got to delete those before you want to do an actual test. Past tests, if you've done past tests, you have to delete all those too if you're going to redo with the Zep. One thing that maybe you didn't see here is you see this little green thing. This is the Zep app. So the Zep app, or the Zep, attaches to the knob of the bat and corresponds Bluetooth to the Zep app on your phone, and it records bat speed, hand speed, attack angle, and a bunch of different metrics that are super awesome for these type of experiments. But Zep allows you to add a hitter in one account, but it doesn't crunch that data for you. It just adds it, accumulates it in the total whatever Zep email account that you're using. It accumulates it in that account. So it doesn't allow you to separate the data from other hitters or swings and average the data out. Like I said, probably Zep will fix this at some point, but the Zep Baseball app is an awesome tool for collecting data so you don't have to do the bean counting yourself.
In this baseball swing trainer post about using a SwingAway for hitting experiments, I wanted to lay the landscape and empower you to help me take up arms. I want to turn conventional hitting wisdom on its head and use modern technology to build a swing that we can all be proud of. But I can't fight this fight alone, and I need your help. So my challenge to you is that we band together and put together 30 swing experiments in 30 days. Now, if we all do our part, then we at least 1 swing experiment to those that do have access to a Zep app, a SwingAway, and or batting tee, then we can knock this out by the middle of July. Now, what you want to do now is you want to go down to the link directly below this video if you're watching this on YouTube under the Show More tab, and you can get more examples of swing experiments that I've already done, tips on how to optimize your swing experiments, and how to enter the challenge. Now make sure that we're swinging smarter by moving better, and before I let you go, the Hitting Performance Lab wants to know, did you know repeatable hitting power does not start in the hips? Have you heard the expressions, load and explode the hips? Power comes from the hips. Well, we created a free video revealing the results of a scientific study that will show you how we added 48 feet of batted ball distance instantly. And it's not all about the hips. Click here now to get the video while it's still free.